There, we made it to Montreal. It was too early in the morning to video in Ottawa. So we had to get up at 4 in the morning. Of course, I got up at 2 because that's the way it goes.
The old saying goes, opportunity knocks but once, so when a neighbor asked us to sail from Key West to the Bahamas, Kyle and I were all over it.
It's nice of them to have a parade for us.
It was nice.
So we've had a heck of a first evening. We got off the plane, we got a cab here, and then we started drinking, and now Kyle is sailing the boat. Even though we're at the dock. At the dock. She's practicing.
And looking at the stars.
On Key West.
Fully at a sextant.
So we're walking down Duval Street, which seems to be the Key West's happening street. Hey, we're getting a taste of the cruising lifestyle. We have to walk freaking everywhere. Right here?
We're already like 22,000 steps today and it's not even 3.
We haven't even done anything. But we have to get an antigen test. So there's a lot of confusion over what's required from us to get into the Bahamas. So we're playing it safe.
Well, it's Saturday morning, and I think that we're not going to go sailing today.
Apparently this is Ernest Hemingway's house. One of Key West's most famous sons. Boop. So this is the Truman Annex, which is a little area not far from the party area, really. Well, the sign speaks for itself. The little White House.
Oh, thank you.
Place is lousy with chickens. They're everywhere.
We thought it was crazy getting to Florida, but it's crazier going to the Bahamas because you have to fill out you have to get an antigen test. And the requirement is to have it within 72 hours of arriving in the Bahamas, but of course, when you're going by sailboat, that's not going to work. And then you have to fill out online forms for a health visa, where you have to upload all your vaccination certificates and your antigen tests and your passports. And then when we leave here, we're going to go to Marathon and then Key Largo, and we're not allowed to go on shore in either place because that would screw up our antigen test and our signing out with US Customs. So leaving Key West. So we're leaving Marathon and heading up to Key Largo, which would be, if the weather switches up, it'll be a better place. We'll be in a better position to leave. A better place. It's the view from the seat of command. Your feet are good. You got nice feet for an old guy. When the sun came up on day 3, we were faced with a headwind blowing 20 knots plus out of the east. But due to time restrictions and a somewhat dodgy anchorage, we decided to make the run for Bimini.
I'm in the hot seat, taking 2-hour turns to sit here and make sure that everything's under control. It's blowing a good steady 20 knots, getting up to 24 at times. The waves are fine, but every once in a while you get a biggin.
When you're used to sailing on a river, 7-foot seas take some getting used to. But after hours of rolling through the Gulf Stream, our sea legs were firmly under us.
What's coming? Here comes one of them. Nope.
Well, it's pretty rough. We're motoring because it's that kind of day. Feeling good?
Not feeling great.
But not bad, but not great. See, I don't know if you can see it. When we were anchored yesterday, the water was 67 degrees. And here in the Gulf Stream, it's almost 79 degrees. I don't think I can recall a day when I watched the sun rise and then watched the sun set whilst going the same direction. That's pretty spectacular.
Yes. Whoa.
There it is, Bimini. Peter's gone in to check us in officially somewhere over there. Got the old quarantine flag up. So apparently it's 8.5 feet across the sandbar, and we draw 5.5, so we're good. You can see it is bloody shallow right there.
Yeah.
Looks really shallow.
Yeah. But they're in deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
11 foot,
We're hitting.
You're hitting. Yeah.
So we're coming into North Bimini and Alistown. That's what paradise looks like right there. This is downtown, I think, right here. Right? Yeah. Yeah, those are eagle rays too.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. We're here live on location trying to answer the age-old question, why did the chicken cross the road? Looks both ways. He's going for it. She's going for it. Tell me, madam, why are you crossing the road? We've watched so many YouTubers making the crossing from Florida to Bimini that completing the trip felt great despite not sailing. Now, looking at another gorgeous sunrise, we were excited to head out on a new leg of the adventure and cross the Bahama banks on our way to Eleuthera. That is Bimini in the distance. We're heading out over the Bahama banks. Well, there are flying fish. There they go, look. There, Kyla's trying out the dolphin chair. So far it hasn't worked.
This is good.
Are you conjuring up some dolphins for us?
Weird. You feel like you're hanging right out over the
Yeah, if that broke, you'd just go whoop.
thing.
Ah, it's a hook. Well, we're moored now on the Bahama banks in about 13 feet of water. There's nothing in sight other than a couple other cruising boats, but a good opportunity to go for a swim because you're never going to get to go for a swim in this spot, probably. Apparently I'm quite floaty. I can't get under the water. Did I get under? It must be the camera. Did my feet go under at least? Just. Oh. I need my weights. Waking up on a boat miles from anywhere on calm seas is quite cool.
As we set off towards New Providence on what would be our last day on the water, Mother Nature offered up a spectacular view of a passing rain system that brought home the truly unique perspective that being on the water affords.
Well, we had hoped to sail today, but the people who organized the wind really cocked it up. As we started to bear off towards Nassau, the wind continually shifted south as well, so we've been going basically into the wind for 4 days. Oh well, I guess that's the cruising life. Oh, we've made it to New Providence. We're at the very west end of the island, so Nassau is on the other end. I'd be surprised if that wasn't Peter Nygaard's infamous den of iniquity.
I think it is. Like, I kind of recognize it from the reports.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why that jumped out at me too. I'm like, oh. So, we just had a nice meal at a fancy restaurant, all dressed like ragamuffins. And then we took a cab back to Jaws Bay.
We weren't all dressed like ragamuffins.
Yeah, I was dressed like a ragamuffin, and the other three were okay. Now we're trying to find the boat.
As we were learning, life on a boat and plans don't mix. While the original idea was to spend a few days on Eleuthera, time constraints and COVID-19 restrictions forced us to adjust. The new plan was to hang out at an Airbnb with a pool near Cable Beach, just outside of Nassau, for the next few days. Being on land meant that I wasn't afraid to crash the new drone into the sea.
We just got our 5-day antigen test, which is mandatory. So we're off the hook. We've done our duty, I guess. Now we're sitting on the beach. Well, we climbed up the 600 steps of the Queen's Stairway. No, was it 600? No, 60 steps.
Yeah.
It's a lot of steps anyway. Carved out of a rock by slave labor. And apparently this fort used to have a commanding view of the harbor, but the United States is building their embassy right in front of it, so there's no longer a view of anything except the embassy. It's bigger than the embassy in Ottawa. Crazy. We've been befriended by this random dog.
Oh, he's going. Go.
He likes you, dear.
I didn't touch him because,
Yeah, he looks pretty mangy.
well,
Cute, but mangy.
I was worried that he might bite me.
You could inherit that dog and take it home.
I know,
dog,
it's super
not
cute. Look at him.
Yeah. Well, we just walked all the way up there from where the cruise ships drop passengers off to here. They should call it the gauntlet because it's just one vendor after the next trying to sell you everything from carvings to t-shirts to a joint, or whatever those kids call them these days.
Kyle and I have been to Nassau a few times, and while it's fun to walk around the city for an afternoon, we were glad to stay out of town a bit. The waterfront and amenities at Cable Beach made it the perfect spot to spend a few days before heading back to Canada.
We're just walking along Goodman Beach. It rained in the night, so everything is wet and lush and humid. Well, it's our last afternoon in the Bahamas, so we are sneaking down this road to try to get to the water without having to go through all the hotel area to go for a snorkel. Seems how we dragged this all the way here. Bloody well use it. But I had one beer left, so I'm bloody well drinking. Bon voyage.